Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day or night you're listening to this. I wish you the best of it. I'm Grant Lamontang from multitool.org, and this is EDC-TV. With me tonight, as usual, are my good buddies, Chris Foster, also known as Inky. He is an online knife trader extraordinaire. How are you tonight, Inky?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And also with us, as usual, is the owner of Diving Sparrow Knife Works and field editor for Blade Magazine, Abe Elias. How are you tonight, Abe?
Good. Doing really good.
That's great to hear. So ordinarily, we start off the show by doing a little bit of banter back and forth and chatting about some of the new stuff that we've got. But we're going to forego that tonight because we're continuing on from the last episode where we were looking at new stuff from different manufacturers, new releases for 2026, many of which were announced at the recent SHOT Show. We have a lot of ground to cover, so we're just going to bang right off into that. You guys good with that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure.
Excellent. So I think we're going to have a look at Cold Steel's new products to start with. There we go. So we got a whole pile of new stuff from Cold Steel. We got this 3-piece kitchen knife set, which, Damascus, $1,000. Probably not too bad in the chef's knife world. And the Immense XHP, which sounds like a bad name for a discount wrapper. What do you guys think of these ones?
About the same as I think of discount wrappers. No,
I heard a couple of his songs.
I'm not really enthusiastic. I mean, it looks big. It's got a style. It's not my style. But to be fair, and since I haven't held it, it doesn't look exactly something like I'd find comfortable. There's too many. I can't put my cursor on there, but to me, there's too many peaks in the handle of where your fingers got to fit right in between.
Yeah, it definitely sort of looks like an old twisted root or something that they stuck a blade on, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I find those two middle parts, I mean, they're called finger grooves, right? But they've obviously finished the finger grooves off in some, I'm not saying super sharp, but they're pretty acute peaks, right? So if your finger's not fit in there, you're going to get a couple hot spots, I think.
Yeah, this is definitely one that I would have to try and hold in the hand. Maybe there's something to it, but I'm also wondering just how many fingers they have at Cold Steel, because if you look at it here, you've got, 1, 2, and then a double, so 3, 4, and then 5, and then what appears to be a 6th finger hole there. Now,
yeah,
when you figure your thumb's going to be on the other side, that's still 2 extra fingers.
I'm going to take a guess here.
How many do you have?
Not that many.
Well, if he had 6 fingers, Montego and Toya would be hunting him down.
Well, that would be 6 fingers and a thumb, so that would put 7 fingers on that hand.
Yeah. I'm going to guess here by the design because it looks rather large. It might be some finger grooves put you up for choke up and control, and then I'm going to guess they put the extra one so you can drop back and do a snap chop.
I mean, that would be my guess. Just to get a sense of scale here, it says here the 4-inch drop point blade. So that's a 4-inch blade. It looks pretty tiny. So how massive is that handle?
The handle's 6 inches, but that blade, you only get 3.5 inches of use out of as well. So you got almost twice the handle. It's the blade, you can't use the whole thing.
What's the thickness of the steel there?
Let's have a look here. Blade thickness is 4 millimeters.
Okay, that's not really thick, but that's pretty good. If it's only 1/8 of an inch, then that wouldn't be that much weight to the blade. So I'm wondering, 5/30 seconds. It's 5/30 seconds. So you get some weight to the blade, but it's not like a 3/6. I mean, I could see them wanting you to lay back on the handle and chop with it if it was 3/16.
It's made more for a sticker than a chopper. That's what I mean. It's got so much. It's made, I guess, to keep you further away from what you're sticking.
Well, then that would be the pistol grip, right? That'd be more like level out the pistol grip.
So it's a gigantic handle, man. I can't stand that in real life. And it's almost 7 ounces, so it's heavy. On the handle, I personally don't like it.
Not crazy about the willow leaf pattern because it makes it look fatter. Like that blade, that's what I'm not liking about the blade. It's just it's got like a willow leaf pattern to it. It's almost when you get a blade like that's wide with the willow leaf pattern, it kind of reminds you of that old World War II knife, the machete. Remember this machete with the
Smash
big
it.
smash
Yes,
it?
to call it a smash it.
Smash?
I don't know
Yeah,
what it really is. Yeah, I couldn't remember. So I
yeah.
remember I used to call it like an idiot.
Names. I gotta maybe I gotta start taking fish oil so I start remembering the names. But then
I don't know what it's called.
smash it, kind of like a smash hatchet, not a machete, but
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it just kind of reminds me of that when I look at it, and you know, you can take it as they want you to lay back and chop, but given the blade thickness, I'd say no. I'd go with Inky's assessment. It's more like a pistol grit stabber.
It's made for everything. Like it's supposed to be cutting, slicing, piercing, but that thing ain't chopping. It looks like it should chop, and I don't think it does.
It
You
It's a little light.
You could
yeah, it
definitely get
doesn't
a grip
appeal
on
to
that
me, and
thing.
at $300, I think that's a little too much for an experiment, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too, because I'm often shocked at how the MSRP is listed. Because when I write an article, I've got to list it, but then when I go shopping or like looking around at places that sell them, I can't. Sometimes I can't believe how low below the MSRP they are. I'd have to wait. That's new, so you'd have to wait till it's out on the market for a little bit, and then you kind of realize the value the market gives to it by how the other stores are selling it. Because maybe they can't move it for 250, so they'll drop it to like 169, and then it
I
kind of
get that,
tells you how it's being received, right?
but I don't see me spending more than $80 on something like this. It doesn't look like something I'd like, so
Yeah,
it's not something I'm motivated to want to buy. So it is just way out of the realm of reality for me. Now, if I get a hold of one in the store and somehow this handle is really, really comfortable, which does happen, that's a different story. I might drop, 150, 160 on it, but I think for $300, you just have much better choices out there.
yeah, yeah. Well, like like we all know because we've talked about this before. I've pointed out many knives to you that I wouldn't spend the money on, and remarkably so, those guys are still in business, and I'm not going to mention who, but they're still selling their knives. So you never know what ugly duckling somebody's going to pick up and take home.
You know,
Absolutely. A lot of people really hate the CRKT necklace from Terry Renner, but I'll tell you, when you put that in the sort of situation that it's really meant for, it is an absolutely stellar boat knife. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a bit of a kayaker, so I'm a big fan of that kind of thing.
Just a little bit of a kayaker.
Anyway, so we don't much care for the immense XHP. Is that our general consensus?
you know what else is not the problem, but what happens with these handles are when it has the triad lock, the blade's always set a little further back, and it takes more handle.
Right.
So you always notice things with a triad lock back will always have extra handle as it is. But first I think the design on the handle is nice. I like the handle, the look of it, not the shape, the actual G10, the bubbles and stuff. I like that. I like the way the spine looks. The
Yeah.
spine has a cool look to it.
Yeah.
Uh, I like the handle a lot, not the shape, whatever you'd call that, whatever design they put on that.
The texturing.
And of course, you could definitely find a good grip on that thing somewhere. You
Yeah.
could, if the blade was bigger, you could almost two-hand that thing. But that's
Well,
it. I wanted to say something good about it.
you got a few
Yeah.
hundred grips on that one, so there's got to be at least one that's good, right?
Yeah, it looks like you might get a nice reverse grip on that.
Well, if you go towards the back, this is one of the things that made me think it was a bit of a wrist snap chopper, not just the length,
And
but
you got
the
a good
back's got
thumb
that
rest
flare
up
to it,
there.
right? So
Yeah.
that when you're at the back there, that flare acts as a natural stop. It jams up in your hand, right? But I don't, again, without holding it and even trying to take a couple wrist snaps with it, I can't tell you. Like the blade to me, the forward weight on that doesn't seem like I'm not saying you're going to take down a big red cedar, but not even for light branches, it doesn't seem like it's really going to do the job. Just saying.
They say it's hollow ground, but it looks flat.
Yeah, it definitely does look like a flat grind. I guess maybe.
Yeah. It'd have to be a really broad hollow grind. That's like a huge wheel.
Yeah.
I bet. I know I never handled it, but I bet you could get a really good grip on that thing. I just think you'd be a little bit forward with it too when you used it. Not much, a little bit.
Yeah, see, he's in the middle. He's actually right in the middle on that one. With
You
that
got
hand
pictures
grip.
of grips?
Yeah, he's like, it looks like it's got a 3-position grip from the way he's holding it. You can
Yeah, at
go
least.
choke up a little bit, and then you can drop back a little bit. That's a big freaking handle.
Yeah, it's giant.
What's the material on the handle?
G10.
G10. Okay, so yeah, that's where a lot of that weight's coming from if those scales are thick.
Yeah, I like that lavery design. Man. The spine looks cool too. I
So,
won't buy it.
are we talking ourselves into this one? Is that
No,
what's
I just
happening?
want saying the nice things about it, you know.
Yeah, it's a
We're gonna throw a
lockback.
couple of good things.
So it's
I forget. I'll order all of us one.
yeah,
What
just tell.
color?
Yeah.
What color, Abe?
So scrolling
no.
down here, you'll notice that Cold Steel has a new pair of handcuffs on the market.
And I got a
thank God.
date night this weekend coming up just in time.
Well,
So
then here's the blowgun too, so you can.
I had one of them.
I don't have
Definitely.
my date is going to be a little shocked if I show up with a blowgun because that's a little out of the ordinary.
Well,
The
I thought
handcuffs,
You're supposed
totally
to
socially
use the blowgun.
acceptable.
I thought that's how you got her in the first place.
No. I just flashed cash.
I bought one of them mini batons a couple weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It works. It's small. It's like
So
6-7 inches.
What do you guys think of this? The
I think
Demco
that-
Java push dagger.
We should all go to the mall and see how they work, I think.
That just has like Persian look to it. I'm not really
And once you stick that in someone, you got all those little spiny things to go, like, you know, see if it can tickle them with it or maybe hurt a little more. Does that hurt a little more?
This
What's that all about?
this looks like the kind of thing that you sell to a goth kid at the mall to scare his mother.
Yeah.
How big is that thing, Grant? Can you see? Bring us
It
down.
is 6-inch blade.
It's not immense.
Overall
but
length
big.
8 3/4 inches.
That's pretty 6-inch. You know, I mean, you're going to be tickling some arterial material.
Yeah, what's
It's,
the little extra spines for there? What's that, to hold it in there?
Well, this is in case the stabbing doesn't work. You can then punch the guy, you know, once the blade's already buried into his skull.
So is the blade right up your forearm? You can hold it that way? I mean, you get your hand in the hollow part? Is that what those finger?
Yeah, you got your
Finger
finger
grips
on
by
your index finger in the main open part here, and then you've got the rest of your fingers inside there, so that it acts like a knuckle duster.
You see right by the tang, there's like little grooves on the bottom.
Yeah,
Little spines.
I think that's for glancing blows, so that way you don't go skidding too far off the market.
That's where you stick them in the side of the head and hit them under the eye with the little pointy things.
Here, let's see what the sheath. I want to see what the sheath, how they managed to allow you to carry that. If you could blow that up for us there.
Yeah, it works.
Let me.
I feel like if you're a serious martial artist, then this would be an interesting thing because, you know, you could theoretically use those little grooves there, you know, to protect your hand from an incoming edged weapon or something. But
like a sigh, trap the edge.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
realistically, this is for the 15-year-old goth kid.
Yeah, no, it's just not. Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. I'm really not. Just this is like, I can't. This is like, I can't even say it. It's like Bud K style stuff. It's just not really.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't want to be overly rude about this, and I don't want to be culturally insensitive, but I've never really found a halfway decent use for a crisp blade to begin with. Anyway, I don't get me wrong, the wavy stuff looks cool, and you know, in the magazines, but you know, in actual practical use, I can't think of any for this whatsoever.
Look at that! It's not 3 fingers down below. It's 2. Better. This gives you a better sizing of it, and then you actually close. That makes okay. So people don't realize how a lot of times how the hand works. if you can't bring your pinky in, you lose a lot of strength. If you can't close your thumb over to something, you lose a lot of strength. So at least this one has your thumb closing over and meeting up with your index finger, and that actually gives you a lot more strength in your grip.
You know, I had exactly the opposite observation when I saw this. When you're trying to transfer power, you want to go in a straight line. So if you draw a straight line down this wrist, then the tip of that blade should be about 4 inches up from where it is. Otherwise, this is, if you go to stab somebody hard enough with this, you're probably going to break your wrist on it.
Well,
so
that's a
yeah,
different point, though. That's a different point than what I'm talking about.
Does he have it
Close-
upside down?
He's gonna, who knows, but he's gonna have a tighter grip on it, though. That's what I'm saying is if you made it so that way, if it came through your hand here like this, and your hand you had your thumb here instead of over here, your grip, just holding on to it's going to be weaker if you can't get your thumb over top, and so that makes sense having the opening there. Whether or not the blade's in right alignment with his skeletal structure, that also depends on how he's holding it. He might be holding it to try and show it to you,
well,
bending his wrist.
I guess we're just going to have to get them and try them out then.
Yeah, not happening.
That's a Demko design.
Yes, it is.
That's
Wow.
an Inky project. That'll be an Inky project now.
I wonder,
There you go, Inky.
I wonder,
can take care of this
who,
one.
I wonder why.
Because if you look at the handle, it looks like it should be in line with the center of your palm if you put it in there correctly.
I think that guy is holding it upside down. I think everything says it should be held the other way. Like most of your fingers in the cage, and you point the finger in the groove on top for the control, plus the blade is underneath, and it lines up better with your wrist. I
Well-
would think that was just held upside down in that picture.
The idea being is if you rotate your fist while you're holding this, and I still think it should be 3-in-1, but if you rotate this with your fingernails pointing down as you would in a combat type situation, you want your guard here on the outside, so that way when you deflect something, you can push it away from you. So I believe he's holding it right side up. I'm going to guess whoever's taking this picture probably knows this blade. It might even be Mr. Demko himself. But yeah, I'm just not really seeing anything on this that makes me say, hey, you got to have one of these. And I'm the guy that went and bought the Cold Steel Desperado, if you remember, was that big swoopy, curvy, no gullies clip point fixed blade with the egg-shaped handle, and I loved that thing.
Hey, don't get me wrong. If this thing was $50, I'd buy it.
Yeah,
Just
How much
to
is
have
it?
it.
again?
I forgot to
100
mention I was lefty, so I
140.
would have to hold it the other way.
Well, I don't think you would have to. I think you'd come either side from it.
No, I mean, I would hold it the way he held it, but I wouldn't. I would like that.
You would fa-chew like that. Okay.
Fachu like that. And there you have it, everybody, the technical fachu handle.
Wait, it's
movement.
the chew. Like that.
Okay. So to keep Inky happy, let's all say something nice about this.
It sucks.
I like the guy's manicure. It looks perfectly, that manicure looks spot on. It looks like he went to a perfectly good nail salon.
I think I have that sweater.
I got something to say. I think being that Demko made it, I want one if it's $40 or less.
And it's Java. That's exactly, there you go. The Asian curved Java blades, right? The snake blades.
Shit. What
Okay.
for coffee?
Do you guys
So-
remember Valiant when he used to sell a big, large, kind of like mini sword machete Java blade with the curves to it? Remember that company Valiant?
Plymouth or was that Dodge? Which one made the Valiant?
No, it was called Valiant. It was some guy from North America.
Yes, it had a
started-
slant six.
Not that one. Did you? There's a story behind that one, which I can't tell you right now because we're going to take up too much time. But there was a company named Valiant, and he went around the world getting artisan knives made, like Gullocks and Parangs, and he sold them on his site. I actually bought a Gullock from him, and he had a Java sword
Okay.
with the snake blade. Green folder. There you
Twisted.
see the handle style is very similar to the
5
first one
Max?
we were talking.
Yeah. I actually have the 5 Max, but it's more in a line. It's like got an extra. It's a little
Apparently,
bit more.
I'm not allowed to look at that one.
Why am I seeing this page?
I don't know.
I
Why are we
actually
seeing
have
this?
that, the 5 Max. Pretty gnarly.
The green
A
thing
little
is
bit
on the
more
right side of
a
this.
little bit more in proportion, you know? Sort
Weird.
of.
There we go.
Have to prove I'm not a robot looking at cold steels.
I am not a robot.
Yeah, see, that's pretty much. It's not exactly, but it's really. It's almost exactly the same handle. Sorry.
Very similar
close.
handle, yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Very
I'm
similar.
liking the blade on this one a lot more.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? I guess that's why I said it could be comfortable, because I actually have that handle. So yes, it could be comfortable. That's a
I'm thinking
multi.
the jimping looks too aggressive to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put my thumb on that.
It's not. It's rolled.
Too aggressive is Cold Steel's entire business plan.
Yeah.
I think they're rounded off. They're not terribly pointy and edgy. I don't remember.
That is a massive knife, though.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I got the 4 Max is nice too. You'd like that one, man.
So what's the MSRP on that one again?
That one's almost 5, I think.
400.
Jesus, Murphy! Holy crap! Did you know my very first car only cost me $400?
I bought a car for $250 and drove across the country on it. Drove across in a Canadian winter, but fortunately the heater didn't work, but fortunately the engine caught fire occasionally to warm us up. It was great.
Ooh, did you cook dinner on it?
No. No, the amount of chemicals in those old cars, nothing that you cooked under it would have been edible.
Well, what do you mean? If you would have cooked mac and cheese in there, you would have known the difference. Probably the same amount of chemicals in that mac and cheese.
So what are you thinking of this one there, Abe?
I'm thinking that looks like a rat product to me. If you put the large one back up again, that is so close to a rat product. It's a rat or an Essie.
That's
that's
exactly
nice.
what I was
Nothing
thinking
wrong
was
with
an
it.
Essie.
Yeah.
I might
So-
have that one. Or the one before. I don't know if it's the same.
It wouldn't be the first time Cold Steel borrowed a design from someone else, now would it?
No, someone made that for them. That
it's-
one's made in America. It
it's
might
very
be made by
close.
Essie.
Well, it's very close to me. I'm not
It's
saying
made-
it's dead on, but
No,
if,
I think that was made by Essie or Rat for real.
really, okay,
Because
yeah.
it's made in America. It's the only Cold Steel knife made in America right now. I actually have it. It's a nice
Look at
knife.
something here.
Oh, you have it.
Nice knife. It feels like an Essie. Doesn't feel as crappy as the Rat's on now. Did I say that well?
It looks halfway as decent.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it.
Well, apparently Abe's got something worth showing here.
He's got it right there.
I've got it.
Oh, is that the
Forgot
exact
I
knife?
had. Yeah, what threw me off at first was it's supposed to be a new knife. Well, I've had it for a while. I'm
Yeah,
like,
me
wait a
too.
minute, how is that new?
That's an Essie, right?
It's
It's not a Rat. That's not a Rat. I don't think it is.
well,
So
no.
apparently I'm the only one that doesn't have this knife.
So I called it a rat because I'm used to Jeff being originally known as Rat. Like, I mean, that's how far back I used
Yeah.
to go and visit with them. It says Made in USA, has a flag on it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't say Essie anywhere on it. But now that you mention it, I would, if since it's Made in USA, I would have no problem believing that Essie made this.
Yeah.
It doesn't have. Traditionally, I'm used to them having a bit of a wider blade. This is a
Mhm.
nice knife.
Yeah.
I've had it for a little bit. I played with it for a little bit. It's a respectable knife. It is what it is. It's nothing fancy. It gets the job done. The grind is pretty good on it. It's not thick. I'm not dealing with a thick edge on there.
Does look
Decent
quite
cheese.
thin.
This here is, I don't know if you can see
Definitely
it.
rolls.
2.9.
See that there? That is it's not aggressive, but it's nice texturing.
Mm-hmm.
I do find the micarta, they left some texture on it, but not as much as I would like. And they got the little scraper on the back there. That's
I'm
got
glad
some
they didn't
utility to it.
polish it like most schmucks do.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice knife. Best part about it too is I often talk to people about bushcraft knives. This here, you got a pinch grip. You don't have to come up here like this. You got better control for some tip work, some detailed work, because they've got a nice. The finish on here is comfortable. It's not any hot spots. It's not super sharp. You can do a pinch grip on it. You can do a talon grip on it. So you bring up the second finger, you lock in there like that. Yeah, so it's nice. But that talon, that's why I call it talon grip. A lot of smaller hunters, guys will get in there to do some detailed work inside the carcass as they're trying to clean it out. And you can go blind they blindly in there. You're gonna go blind, but you can go in there without looking because you're using your finger. Okay, let's since we're doing reviews, that carve, not my thing. Hate to say it, not my thing.
I was
No
looking
one
at
likes
it.
that thing. I mean,
I don't know.
I like the Swift. I got the 2 and the 3. It's okay. It's pretty nice. I don't know.
Blade.
What these aren't new. What is this? I have
Well,
half of
apparently
these
not.
things.
If you guys both have the other one.
Well, yeah,
I've been wanting to buy the Atlas, but I feel like it might be too thin.
Okay,
do me a favor, go back to this one again. Maybe they've changed the steel. Maybe that's what's new about it.
Maybe. Which one, the Republic?
Yeah, the Republic.
Let me see.
It is
Nope, same steel.
CPM.
Wait, S35VN. Maybe.
Yeah. No, mine is S30.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess there is something new about it.
I really like the Republic. I got mine super cheap though too. That's another thing. I go by also what I pay.
Look.
Yep.
I saw down here it says CPM.
Well.
So what's the MSRP on that again?
310.
Yeah, I didn't pay that. I
paid closer to 100 for mine.
Anything else here in the cold steel stuff that we want to talk about?
Okay. The fix looked nice, those little trim fix, but go back to the kind of Turkish dagger. Yeah, the Kyber sword.
I like that. I don't like the back of the handle though. I love the shape of the blade though.
Yeah,
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you need that thick pommel in order to offset the weight of this blade. I think that's why that's usually quite large on this style of sword.
These might be made in India. These might be the ones that they get made in. It's Asian, but I think these are the ones they make in India. They got a whole line that's made there.
See, that also reminds me of like a Turkish dagger as well, but those areas are kind of close together in a way.
You know what I would love? If that blade had no curve on the tip of it. Like like a straight long kitchen knife or an over-exaggerated camp knife, you know what I mean?
You could fillet the hell out of a fish with it then.
What's that?
I said you could fillet a hell of a fish with it then.
That thing, you could fillet a shark with that then.
Now, if
it's a big knife.
If you get enough weight to the back of that, though, what ends up happening is your tip becomes really lively.
Yes.
So I remember Bruce Voiles, my old boss at Knives Illustrated. Him and I would have some conversations in the pit at at Blade. And after we've both had a couple, he would always tell me about this one particular knife maker that made a point of making his fighting knives lively. And he would do it every year after we'd had a couple. He would go through the same story. And so the last year we talked, he looked at me, he goes, "Why are you smiling at me? Do you not think I'm right?" And no, this is the same story. After we hit a certain number of drinks, I get this one. I get this story every year. And we had a good chunk.
Even that Kyber's been around forever. Like, I played around with buying that thing.
I'm not familiar with this one. Is the Hatamoto actually new or no? Has it been around?
No, they changed, they turned everything all black. They were so nice, these knives. The Hatamoto was a little bit more plain, but it was G10 with silver or titanium bolsters, and it was like a stonewash blade, whatever. But now they turned everything black. I'll tell you, the Caledonian, it's all black here, Caledonian edge.
Yeah,
that thing is gorgeous. The original one, I mean, unbelievable. And I'm telling you, the fit and finish and the quality of that knife, unreal, man.
So the Cold Steel Outdoorsman Light, right? I love the original one. The original one looks really good. This one, the light version, has the same nice blade to it. I kind of like that design. The handle's changed because it's more of a plastic handle, if I remember correctly. I forget what it's the actual plastic used in there. And so a lot of times, I'm just going to make a general comment. A lot of times nowadays, what we're seeing is I don't even remember what the original Outdoorsman goes for now. But
I just had that up. It was $219, I think.
Yeah. So, but yet, if you go to the Outdoorsman Light, it's a $44 knife Canadian.
Yeah, $40.99 US versus $219 US.
Yeah,
220 versus 41. Not bad.
So there's a lot of times that duality in the line of where they're providing something that's made differently, looks differently, and then you get a look-alike, but with cheaper materials and stuff like that. That takes a lot up in the line. And sometimes those new releases like that are a good idea, because you're allowing somebody to, like, I don't even know if they have a inexpensive version of the Black Sable, but that knife has always been expensive. So that's just some, yeah, I kind of sometimes when we're talking about prices, that's exactly what, if you look at it, you might not like the knife enough to buy it at 300 or 200, but then they come out with the cheaper version, you kind of get a taste of it, and you'll buy it at the cheaper price.
Right. Well, that's definitely a thing for sure. So are we done with Gold Steel? Shall we move on to Böker?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so here's Böker.
Yeah. No, see, I noticed that top line, that's really reminiscent of the Outdoor Edge line.
Yeah, I think Gerber had a line similar to these as well, the game processing set.
Yeah. I think what might set them apart is the case, like with Outdoor Edge, they had belt pouches that were made out of like high density molecular material, like, like butcher board stuff, and you could put it on and do your animal cleaning with them. That kind of set them apart when they first came into the market.
I'm liking the looks of this guy here, but as you know, I'm really into the little fixed blades. Yeah, that's not a bad looking little rig. It's blade length 1.38 inches, so very, very tiny. But looks like it could be a nice little keychain knife, or I guess there it's a neck knife.
Which
Could be
one
a
are you
handy
talking
little
about?
thing to stow in a survival bag or something.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it right now. I wanted to find something out, and I'm trying to find it. Blade thickness, 0.11 inches. So that's under an eighth.
Yeah.
So that would be good, because the problem I have is oftentimes when you see people come up with that's very useful, it's got good utility to it. It would be a great pocket or belt line fixed blade at that size, but then they get carried away and they make these pry bars out of them. That to me just ruins the design.
Which one are you talking about again? Little friend one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the little friend micro.
I have the other version. It's a thinner blade. It's a little friend. A couple of my friends wanted them as well. Speaking of little friend, and they love them, man. They're tiny little neck knives.
There was a guy on Knife Forums for a while that was selling little fixed blades exactly like this. It was basically, if you look at that, you take a straight bar of that thickness, and all he does is cut the tip out, cut the finger groove out, and then he just polishes everything up. It was Pack Pal. Remember the Pack Pal knife? That reminds me, is very reminiscent of the Pack Pal.
Okay.
If you look it up, this is a little chunkier, but it almost looks like the small Pack Pal. I've got two of them in my collection. I just didn't think of bringing them out because that's the first time I've noticed that knife.
It's reminding me of a knife called the Little Bird from Ranger Knives, which I bought years ago. I really like this knife, but it suffers from one serious problem, and that's that the spine of this thing is about 1/4 of an inch thick.
That reminds me of a
And
Topps pup.
it's almost impossible to cut anything with it because there's just not enough blade to absorb that much material, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's a big flaw. A lot of these guys make these small things. If you make them out of thinner material, they'd make great little cutter and utility knives. Well, as soon as you said Ranger, I had a feeling that what you were going to talk about is the flaws, because Ranger used to make the pry bar. That's their thing. So if you look up Pack Pal, I think it's Alan Wood Pack Pal knife, you'll see it. It's got a little bit more. It's softened the curves a lot on it. Guys loved them. They would be ordering them because they were $70, $9 knife.
The only
I know,
Pack Pal I'm seeing is the Smith's Pack Pal.
might have the name wrong, but I'm pretty sure the guy's name was Alan Wood. He was on Knife Forums. You got to start on Knife Forums. Anyways, as soon as I looked at that, not soon, but I looked at how easy it is to make, because it's really just a straight bar with some curvature to it, or curves to it, to bring it out, a knife out. But then also dawned on me, oh, I've seen that before, that style before.
I like the Atlas, actually. Yeah, there's a couple of different ones, but it's like a almost like a one-piece frame. Is that the one? Nope, that's not the
Yeah,
one.
it is, because you can see the steel's rolled over here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it reminds me of the K55K. Remember those? The Mercator?
Oh yeah, I was
Oh,
looking at
yes.
that.
Germany? I just like that type, it's a thing just like anything, stuff I grew up with, But
It's
they got a
nice looking
drop point
knife.
version. Yeah, they got a few different ones. Yeah, that I just found one interesting. It's a
Yeah,
little
it's
on the
not a bad
smaller
looking knife.
side. What's that?
What are the specs here? Overall length, 8 1/4. Blade length, 3.5. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not small either.
Yeah, 3.5's around average, I think. Bigger knives, but it's nice.
So it's-
Yeah, I like it. I would grab one of them at the right price, I guess.
Definitely a good price, isn't it? What, $70 MSRP?
Yeah, and they have smaller ones too, if you like.
Yeah, that one's not bad at all. It's
Yeah,
weird that
I
it's a
like that
nail
one.
neck and not a one-handed opener.
They got a lot of Mueller knives. I like their designs, but in person they always seem a little bit not cheap. I don't know how to explain that, but you know what that is, right? They're made in Spain, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know how you pronounce it, or I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced,
yeah.
but I'm looking at them. I'm like, wow, that looks like that knife, and I'm looking and it says it. So did they buy the company, or are these actual Mueller knives? What's going on with that?
Böker does not own Muela. Muela is a family-owned Spanish knife manufacturer, and Böker simply imports and distributes Muela products through its catalog and retail channels. So there you
You
go.
know, I love that ALCE. Is that a word or a number?
Inky?
ALCE 5161.
ALC.
That's the traditional look I like from them.
Okay.
It looks like it's, I don't know. It's a little cheap
which
for
one are
me.
you looking at?
ALCE it's called. That's that classic style. I love that.
Yeah.
It's just, what's the handle made of? Paper mache, anything? I like the BW16 too, but I just like that almost Randall handle bayonet. Like it's that traditional handle, like the grooves. And I don't mean for comfort. I mean the aesthetics of that knife does it for me. You know,
Now the Gred, I don't know if that's G Red 12A. That's a good looking knife. I like that knife. It's a good looking knife with the stag handle.
I don't like that thin blade, but yeah, it actually is nice.
It's got more of a scanty. I'm not saying it is a scanty, but it's got a scanty
Yeah,
presentation with it, with that, as
you mean the high
opposed to
rise?
if you go up there. I don't know if you guys noticed that one, the walnut drop. Nice handle, but the blade is very reminiscent of the Pumas on
Yeah,
that one. So they
so's the
got a,
handle.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, maybe some of the newer ones. Well, newer ones are synthetics. I don't I don't remember a lot of wood on the Pumas. I remember more like stag. So
That's
I'm not saying you're wrong,
CRMOV5. Or is that 15?
but that's $109 knife. It's not a bad looking knife. Huge hollow
Yes,
grind, definitely a hunter.
small blade. I always like the handle to be bigger than the blade.
Like there's some nice looking knives here. The Phantom 12D looks like it's a nice little utility knife. I don't know about the size. I haven't looked at it just from the picture. That's a $300 knife.
The Magnum Bowie's nice looking too, actually. 739.
Where's the Magnum Bowie? Yeah, it's take the nitro. Take
Holy
the nitro.
crap.
Just take some nitro.
Oh my gosh. I remember one was like $29 20 years ago. Not these, but like the one I was showing you. The first one I saw.
See, you're talking the Magnum Bowie for some. Yeah, and you know what? Okay, let me blow it up
I
because
think
that
I'm pretty
reminds
lost
me.
here. What are we talking about?
That big Bowie. Stag has
Yeah,
crown stag handle. It's
At Böker here?
no, it's a Mueller. Yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah. That
Wheel.
blade reminds me a little bit of that Razorback design. You know, the Texas Razorback one where it's kind of like a big recurve. It's a little bit more subtle of a recurve, but that's what that design reminds me of.
I don't know which one we're talking about. Magnum Bowie here?
Yeah, Magnum Bowie 26, $739. One that
Okay, there we
almost
go.
gave Inky a heart attack there.
Yeah, I can see that.
You get the whole
I'm not a big
26
fan of
Legend.
stag.
Not I don't like crown stag at all. I love stag though.
I'm just
I
not a
don't
big
like
fan
that
of stag
crown.
on anything. I've got an old Puma White Hunter, as my father's knife. It's pre-64 because it doesn't have the little divot in it. And, it hasn't been looked after for a great many years. And so the stag has kind of shrunk away from the tang. And I love the knife, but it's just not.
You know what I would
Yeah.
do with that knife, Grant?
What's that?
Take a water bottle, a regular water bottle, fill it up with mineral oil, and put the knife in upside down,
Yeah.
and bring it up to the guard, and leave it there for a couple of days.
Yeah, I've
And
heard
take
that
it
as
out.
well.
And I've done. I did that to a big Linder, with the buffalo scene on it and all of that.
Yeah.
Man, I did that like 15 years ago. It's still moist, not slippery moist. It's amazing what that mineral oil did to it. I let it soak for about 24 hours.
Yeah. Some guys do that with their tomahawks and their axes. The axes
Yeah,
shrink after a while.
I didn't know to do it. I just kind of did it. I was like, what can I soak this in? I said, mineral oil is the most natural thing. I mean, I was so happy I did that. I still have that knife. I love it. And the stag is unbelievable. It's almost like moist. Like you think it's wet, but it's not. And it's not slippery.
This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Like, and I'm not kidding you. I love
Okay.
the look of
No.
this knife. I didn't notice it before. The Kodiak 10A.
Sorry.
Sounds like you said, man, you know what that is? That's a what do you call it? Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, look at that. That to me is like got utility written all over it, and with
Classic.
looks. Goody classic. And it's a good looking knife. It's got a flat crown braid, a beautiful drop point, not
Okay.
an over guard. It doesn't have an overly large guard, so you can move your hand around the front of the knife. It looks like a gorgeous. I mean, how much is it? Son of a bitch. I'm
It's
gonna
like a
go broke.
Loveless design. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, they're selling it the price you could used to buy a Loveless for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go broke. I'm gonna have to sell a
Yeah,
kidney
but
to get
it's
this
a
knife.
Muello. How do you spend money on a Muello? I don't know. It's Krupp stainless, 4116. Come
Yeah,
on. What
but
are
it's
they
just
giving you?
it's gorgeous though. It's a good. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is, but it's not. You're getting nothing for the money except.
well, let's. I'm gonna have to see what it actually retails for. But like I'm telling you right now, it's just either I'm selling a kidney or somebody who falls asleep in a bar is giving one up. I gotta get this knife.
Well, they're selling for like half price. Wait, no, it's not steak. Would you like it? Would you like it? It's 240, and there's one with a plain or a blacker handle. I don't know what the handle is. This one 183. What handle is this?
I just like the color. Some of the stag has a really rich color to it, like jigged bone, and that one's got, to me, rich looking color.
I
It
can
says, yeah,
appreciate
but you're
that.
not going to get that when you buy it. I mean, you might. This is black smooth handles, everyone, for $183. I can't believe it's 4116 though. It doesn't make sense. All right, Graham, what do you want to do? You move to another company or something? I can make fun of Buck pretty good, and they're my favorite company. I don't want to though. I don't want them to get mad at me. I actually like them.
Too late. Too late. I've spread false rumors about you. They're
Oh, I
pissed.
love false rumors. The new big thing with them, the new big thing is the thinner 110s and 112s with the pocket clips on them. Everyone wanted a pocket clip on the 110, and they're traditional, but they're thinner, and they're Magna cuts, so they're $1 million.
Yeah. And then they've changed the handle material on our favorite horror knives, that
Which
whole
knife?
line. The 103s, all the 100 series, they've changed. It looks like they put some kind of, I can't tell. I got to blow it up. Let's see what they got there for
No,
the
they
handle.
didn't change them. They just added them. They always had wood and all kinds of things.
Yeah, but this year it's what they use this year? Cocobolo handles.
Yeah, I've
Fancy.
got a few of those. They're just doing that as a constant now, you know?
Yeah, so all their folders look like they've gone back to the old hologram buck style blade. And if you look at there, the Ranger Pro, the Ranger Elite, the Ranger Pro, that's, you know what that handle is? That's a Vantage handle. That's a knockoff, straight knock. Well, it's their own knife, so they're not knocking off. It's a straight use of the Ranger handle, except for they've gotten rid of the Mike Mayo blade and they put on, remember their old hollow ground drop points? That looks exactly like that old blade.
I got 110s and 112s with drop points instead of clip points.
Oh, I might be wrong. It's kind of hard to tell whether or not it's hollow ground, a heavy hollow ground, but that looks like the
Wait,
old blades.
what knife are you looking at?
The Ranger 791 Ranger, all the Ranger Elites, those are that. I've got one right here. Look, not it, but if you look here, let me see. I got to go to our page. our screen. So you look here, that is the handle on the Ranger Elite, but this is a Vantage. This is a tactical Vantage, right? So all they did was take out the hole, put in the old style buck hollow ground drop point blade, and the new release is just they change up the blade on the Vantage. That's all they did.
I gotcha.
That's from what I could see.
Now, have you noticed they put out those limited editions, like 20, 30, 50 of them, and they're custom made by people that work at Buck? I'm trying to see, go to limited editions. I'm sure they still have some out there. They don't have any more left. They sold immediately, but I don't know if they're still listed on their website. But it was called We Are Knife Makers. And those knives sold quick. They're regular knives, just remade, different 110s, different 119s.
While you're looking, I just want to play a little Frankenstein thing here, if I could. So look at 714 Stinger knife. I talked about all they did was take the Vantage handle and switch it over to an old style buck blade. I personally am just going to say this just because I want to, and it sounds ridiculous to even talk about it, but the blade on that Stinger would make that Ranger look way better. I'm just looking at that. The blade's too. I don't like the belly curve on that blade on the Ranger now. Not crazy about the structure of that blade. It's a drop point, but it's really close to being a spear tip. And I think the blade on that, they missed out. If they wanted to change the blade, they should have changed the blade on the Ranger to that Stinger blade. I think that'd make that knife look absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I could see that.
On the Vantage, the Pro Series, if I remember correctly, when they did the Pro Series on the Vantage knife, it was a bolster release. And this has got the bolt lock, cross bolt lock or axis lock, however you want to put it. It's just the buck version of the locks now. That's the other thing they did too. You're not liner lock anymore. If you look at that, that's got the Benchmade lock on there on the mini Rangers, all the Ranger series.
Yeah, they kind of removed that part of this. You got to sign up for that stuff. They do some wacky stuff once in a while. They're very pricey, the knives, though.
We are going to have to cut it off again for tonight. We are out of time. We'll probably have to pick this up again next week because there's a lot of cool new stuff out there that I think we all want to have a look at. In the meantime, Abe, have you got anything that you want to share with people before we go?
No, it's kind of fun doing this. I hope it doesn't seem a little too armchairish, but you got to look at the amount of experience we have, and even not with the amount of experience, I think everybody plays Frankenstein when they look at a design, right? They like to Frankenstein it together.
Absolutely. What about you, Inky? Anything you want folks to take away from tonight's episode?
Yeah, well, if Abe's going to be called Frankenstein, I want to be called Count Chocula.
If you have any thoughts on any of the new stuff or anything else, feel free to visit us at forum.multitool.org and have your say. Or you can email us at EDC-TV@multitool.org. We appreciate you joining us once again, and we will see you again next week. New episodes drop every Friday. Thank you very much. Have a great time, everybody.